child is modeled by the equation y equals negative 2x squared plus 8. So if you look at this equation, what do you notice? It's not linear, it's quadratic, right? If you look at the degree on the x, the degree is 2. And because the degree is 2, I know that it's quadratic. Okay? Again, they gave me the x values, so now I'm going to have to do the table of values. They gave me the x values, I have to find the y. Okay? So I plug the x values in for x. So I have 0 for x. I plug it in. And what I have here is negative 2 times 0 squared plus 8. So BEDMAS tells me I have to do what first? The exponent, right? So I have to do the 0 squared first. 0 squared is 0 times negative 2. 0 plus 8 is 0. Is 8, sorry. Okay. Now, I'm going to replace x with what for the second one? 1. So I have negative 2, 1 squared plus 8. What do I have to do first when I'm calculating this? 1 squared. 1 squared is? 1. Times negative 2? Negative 2. Add 8. So that's going to be negative 2 plus 8, which is 6. Okay? What do I replace x with for the next one? So that's going to be negative 2 times 2 squared plus 8. First thing I have to do 2 squared, which is 4. 4 times negative 2, which is 0. Any questions? Okay? And negative 2 times 3 squared plus 8. What's 3 squared? 9 times negative 2 plus 8, so that's negative 10. And then my last one is negative 2 times 4 squared plus 8. Again, 4 squared is 16 times negative 2, that's negative 32 plus 8. All right. Now, first difference. So when I do the first difference, I have to subtract 6 minus 8. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. Okay? Then I have to go 0 minus 6, which is negative 6. Then negative 10 minus 0 is negative 10. So, as of now, my first difference are not constant, right? You see that they're not the same. Okay. Negative 24 minus negative 10. So that's plus 10, right? Which is negative 14. So you look at the first difference, they're not constant. That means you know right away that they're not linear. Okay? Now what are we going to have to try next? Second difference, right? So in In the case that your first difference is not constant, you're going to have to move to your second difference. Okay? And the second difference would say you would have to subtract your first difference. Okay? Which means I have to take my first difference and I have to subtract this minus this. Well, that's why it's called the second difference. Okay? So I'm going to have to take negative 6 and I'm going to have to subtract negative 2. So that's negative 6 plus 2, which is negative 4. Okay? Take your second difference, the first difference again. So negative 10, subtract negative 6. Negative 10 plus 6 is negative 4. Then, negative 14, subtract negative 10. That's again, negative 4. You see that every time you do a difference, you're going to have less numbers, right? Less, because that's why we have the black boxes here. These are not going to be filled, right? What do you notice about the second difference? It's constant. And because the second difference is constant, I know it's quadratic. So, first difference is constant means linear. Second difference is constant means quadratic. Okay? So, I can write my statement here. So, second difference is constant. Therefore, it's quadratic. Yeah.
So the first and second difference is like the same. Does that mean you do something wrong in the equation?
In this scenario, in this course, as of now, maybe, because it depends. I would check my work first, right? But there is other stuff. You have like ratio, you have third difference. It depends on the scenario. So sometimes you'll have the neither option. Okay? All right. Now let's graph this. Let's see how that's going to look on the graph. So if I graph this, as I look at my x values, I want the positive. My y values, I have some in the positive, some in the negative. So I want to be somewhere in the middle. So my x, sorry, my y, and then my x is going to be somewhere here. I'm right today. You see that I never leave my x and y axis with no numbers, right? Do I start just drawing for you? No, right? I include numbers on the x and the y, and this is what I'm expecting from you as well, right? I need to know what these numbers are. Otherwise, you're going to get what you give me, which is nothing. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I see my numbers are like 0, 6, 8, negative 10, negative 24. So I'm just going to try to I might not be able to fit all the points. So my first point is 0, 8. Okay? So my first point is 0, 8, which is right here. And then I have 1, 6. guys know where I'm getting these from, right? 2, 0. What would be my next point? What's my next point? 3, negative 10. And then you see that it's 4 and negative 24. Negative 24 is somewhere down here. So if I'm going to sketch it, it's going to kind of be right somewhere right here. Okay? So I'm not going to include that on my graph. But if I'm going to sketch this, it's going to look like this. Okay? You see this is not a straight line, right? It has a curve to it. Now, you might just say that, well, this is not what you told us how it's supposed to look like. You told us that it's going to look like this, or it's going to look like this, right? And I don't see that. So what's happening here is because I'm only graphing part of the graph. So if you look here, I'm only kind of like graphing this part, okay? So here's what I want to show you. So there is an app or a website that's a graphing calculator, okay? And it's called Desmos. Some of you have used it before. You can download the app or you can use the website. Okay? So it was Y. So if you use your phone, you're going to get a keyboard. I don't know if you guys can see this. So when you get the keyboard, you can do like Y equals, what was the equation? Negative 2x squared plus 8. So you see, you're going to go negative 2x. You see these buttons here? This gives you the square button, and this one gives you whatever exponent you want to include. Okay? So because I want this square button, I can press this one, so it includes the square. Okay? So I have negative 2x squared plus 5, you said, or plus 8? Plus 8. All right, this is my whole graph. What I graph, it's Desmos. So if you guys look, this is the graph that we graphed. We only graphed half of it. We only graphed the positive side of it, the positive x side, right? If I look at Desmos, right, I have both sides. And does this look like a parabola to you? Yes. Okay. So what I would like you to do, I would like you to take the time to download Desmos or to open it on your computer